Hello and welcome to One Mandala. My name is Sakari and I will be showcasing you quickly how to get started with one mandala. In one mandala everything is created out of layers. So here we have now one layer added by default, and these layers are defined by the basic parameters which you can adjust from the left side UI here and from the right side compass controller with these green, red colors, yellow, blue colors. So with the compass controller you have access to all the most used parameters that mostly affect the layer shape, like number of points and recursion, which means the fractality of the shape. How many levels of recursion does the layer have? Then we have scaling, and notice that the fine tune is on. So if I toggle that off, the parameter adjustment is more faster. If I toggle fine tune on, it adjusts in a fine tuned manner all the parameters. Now you can also change the color of the layer from here, and let's make something interesting. So turn on the fine tune, adjust the radius ratio parameter here, to adjust the ratio of the parent shape to the shapes of the children. So each layer has many levels of children like this, which affect how the pattern comes out. So with these parameters alone we can do a lot already from the compass controller. So let's look at how you copy layers. One important, or the most important aspect of one mandala is copying layers and creating beautiful shapes through that. So we can copy this layer by pressing here in the mandala, in the compass controller center, and now we can adjust the new layer, which is a copy of the previous one. We can change the color a little bit to make it interesting. For example, let's try something like that. And let's copy it once more and adjust it. The basic idea of one mandala is that you copy layers, adjust them, and then you toggle this select all, which means now all of these three layers here will be selected for manipulation at the same time. So now I can adjust all of these three layers at the same time like this, and with this we can already find quickly beautiful mandalas. So now we have already there something beautiful. So let's look at the layers. Here we can see the layer list, and by tapping onto a layer I select one layer, but if I hold down and swipe to the right I will select all three layers. If I hold down and swipe just a couple of frames, it selects those two layers to be manipulated. So the idea is with one mandala is to manipulate layers, copy them, and repeat the process and select all again. Let's go back to the previous shape, like that. So we have eight number of points. So you can see the status on the bottom left here. You can see the scale changing. So let's look at some other parameters that we have here. Let's zoom in that a little bit, make it a little bit interesting, like that. And now let's look at here, we have a lot of parameters. I won't go too much into them, but we have here toggles. If I toggle this on, now it draws a curve at each line section. And there's like many tens of parameters here you can adjust. But when I adjust this parameter, now if I want to reset the curve radius back to default, I hold down this, and now you see it resets the value. It doesn't reset the toggle, but it resets the value. We can do the same thing with child ratio, like that. And yeah, then let's take a quick look at animation. So what if you want to animate this? We have animation tabs here separately. Now by default, if I turn on animation from this menu here, you can see the layer is being animated with this breathe effect, which I can turn off and on from here. So the breathe effect, I can change the frequency, which makes this faster or slower, and then I can change the starting point of that breathe animation or the ending point also, like how far does it go. So we can make a quick animation here. And now let's demonstrate something. When you copy the layers and you hold down the copy button, it will not copy the animation parameters. So with this you can create this kind of cool effect quickly. I hold down now. So it copies the layers, but it does not copy the animation phases. So they are all starting from the same point. So with this we can quickly create this kind of interesting effects or animations. And I won't go too much into that. Let's delete a little bit. This was maybe a bit too much. So now we have a simple animation running there. And one important thing is also like the phases of the animations. So each animation runs at a certain point. So now if I really slow them down and select the orange layer and change the phase, now I can see it's directly adjusting at which point of the breathe animation the layer is. And this works with the other animation parameters also. We have scaling, and then we have fading of the scaling here. Then we have rotation, so we can rotate these layers, and we can reset that by holding down. Actually it's not. Is it resetting? Oh yeah. There's no way to. I have to hold here actually. Nice. So then we have hue rotation, which means the colors are being rotated. And yeah, those are the basic deals, or how one mandala basically works. And then we have scenes. So if I go here, I have some scenes I've already made. So if I want to save, I can tap here and I go back. Now if I create a new scene from here, I can always load my scene from here and come back to it. And let's open something that I did yesterday that's maybe a bit more interesting. Oh, it's not working. Oh, there's a bug there. I don't know why. Oh, seems this is still not working as should. So yeah, this is a beta version. We're still early. We're close to like putting this out, but we would wish to hone out any bugs like this and get feedback from you on how to actually use this application. And we would be happy to hear like if you expect something to happen, or if you're like having an idea how something should work. We are happy to hear your feedback. So this was just a quick look into One Mandala, and hope you enjoyed the app. And we're now really taking maybe 1 month, 2 months to hone this and make sure we can get ready to release this for both iOS and Android. So we are really close to a 1.0 version, so I'm happy about that. And hope you enjoy using One Mandala. If you're part of the open beta group, we will keep it kind of limited right now, but if you're interested, you can drop me an email in the link below. I'll show, or message me in Instagram, for example, directly. Anyway, this was Sakari from One Mandala. Create the world a better place, one mandala at a time. Bye bye.